I'll always say, do not be afraid to take risks, because you don't know what you're losing if you don't do it. Love each other. Go if you have an idea, go for it. If you have an idea, don't just sit on it.
Ownership and greatness.
What's good, my people? This is the Ownership and Greatness Show. I'm your host, Joe Chege, and today I have a special guest, a really important person in my life. I have my brother Chris with me. At least we're going to be talking about all things that entail life and our journey of being here and what you're doing to be able to make sure our families are set, make sure our family dynasty and legacy is maintained. So I'm just going to introduce him and then we'll take it from there. What's up, Chris?
How you feeling, bro?
How you feeling, my brother?
I'm good.
Yeah.
What's cracking, man?
Nothing much, bro. Nothing much. Personally, I'm super humbled to have you here as my guest. Like you already know, it's always good to start with the people around you because we all kind of like share the same journey as entrepreneurs, as fathers, and also as friends. So just getting the chance to sit down with you and talk about life, talk about your journey in life and where you are right now. And not only that, your journey on where you are headed, like what's your plans that you have. But I don't want to dive into that, all that, because I know you already have something to talk about. So basically, to start off, to kickstart this session, tell us who's Chris, like who are you and what are you working on right now? And then we'll break it down from there.
Well, my name is Chris and I am Joe's brother-in-law. Got lucky, got into his family. I can say that. And right now I work as a truck driver. I work for JB Hunt. It's a wonderful company. JB Hunt. I better make sure you pay me.
They need to cut that check, right?
Yeah, they need to cut that check. Yeah, so I work for JB Hunt as a truck driver. I've been driving trucks for over a year now far. And circumstances led me to be where I am, as I guess we're going to touch on that.
Most definitely.
But Chris is a fun guy. I like watching movies. I like playing games with my son. I like sometimes giving my wife a hard time. I have a 5-year-old daughter too. So she is my princess, and she's on her best behavior when dad is home. Around. Yeah, but when I'm gone,
it's a different story.
It's a different story.
Oh, tell me
something. Calls.
That's cool. Now, that's amazing. Now that you have that out of the way, for me, the reason why I actually wanted to sit down with you is because, like, your story is so inspiring. For those who don't know, and I've seen, like, just spending time with you from the time I came to the States. Like, I've seen your transgression. I've seen like how you've grown and how you've been able to step up and build your dynasty and build your business, because that's where we all are headed. Like in our life, we always aspire to be great entrepreneurs so we can be able to leave a legacy and also build ownership that can sustain us for this generation and the generations to come. So I want to take this story back a bit. I know we are talking about, you said you've been driving the truck for almost a year, but I want us to kind of like go back a few years back, because there's a like I would say there's a deep story behind it, like you moving from your previous job to where you were. So if you don't mind just taking us to, I would say 2019.
All right.
Like where were you before? Because I know there's something significant that happened around that time that actually changed your hustle, changed the way you're doing stuff right now. like tell us what your previous, I would say, career was and how you transitioned from that to where you are right now.
I'm gonna take you way back until 2010 when I was a social worker in foster care with my county, and I was one of the few male social workers. Because social work is the profession is like nursing. 98% of the workers there are female, and sometimes when you get these young adults, young kids who really need the guidance of a male, that is lacking, and that's why they end up getting recycled in the system. I enjoyed my work very well as a social worker. It was it was a good job. I had some difficult cases. I had some kids who grew up to be successful. I had some kids who did not grow up to be successful, but I tend to think I try to work with them, not only what I learned in school, but also what I've learned in life. Because I try to teach them how life in Africa is, how they need to be respectful, because most of these young men, mostly boys, they have no respect for their mothers because they have these abandonment issues. They have issues of mistrust of adults. Most of them have been abused. It was a job that I loved to do, and I think I got an award from the governor, actually. I remember.
Wow, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. For your recognition.
For recognition, yeah, from the governor. Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, and I didn't really ask for this. I was just saying, hey, I'm just doing the best that I can, But it is very exhausting work because, you sit down listening to all these problems, but then you don't have a way to express yourself, So it does get kind of stressful, That's something that other therapists go through.
Yeah.
A therapist needs a therapist. Yes, that's how it is.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, because there has to be a way to let all that out. Yeah. So I continued being a social worker. I worked with young men, some girls. It helped me to travel all around the US. I had reunifying families, and it was actually a good perk.
So when you say reunifying families, if you don't mind, can you just elaborate it a bit?
Okay, some of these young men, they come as kids into the foster care system.
Yeah,
they're in the system. Maybe their family is out of the picture, but once they get older, they start asking, like, yes. So my job was to find the family and make sure there is a strong reconnection. So regardless of where they are, whether they are in our state, whether they are in Arizona or Florida, I have done that. Some have been successful, some have not been successful, but the main goal
was to connect them.
Yeah,
because I think, like you said, I know I can imagine someone who's been detached from their family for the longest time, some for the good things and also some for not so good situations, just trying to reconnect them with their families, and maybe they had a story from the past. That would be a bit challenging.
It is a big challenge because you have to take this, step by step. If the parent was an offender, maybe he sexually abused the child, when the child turns 18, it's okay if the child wants to return home.
Yeah.
But this child will still hold all that trauma.
Yeah.
And it needs a lot of work to be able to reconnect. I always say everybody deserves a second chance. No matter how bad you are still human, And that's what I always try to tell my youth. And when I was reconnecting them with their parents, it was something that, it wasn't easy to do, but, you look at the long term.
Yeah. The long-term effect.
Yeah, you look at the long term. If you look at the long-term effect, yeah. So I was a social worker for for a while, beloved by my peers.
Yeah. That's and also like while you're still on that topic, because I feel like you working as a social worker for the longest time and just having this one-on-one experience with all these kids going through all these different homes, like what would you say, like from a personal point of view as a dad, and also as a brother to us, like what would you say is something that you'd actually kind of like advise us as parents, like people who actually have their kids around, what can we actually implement to be able to make sure we have like a tight knit fabric, and like we are able to raise our kids in the right way to prevent issues like this happening? Because I feel like sometimes for some it's the conflict between the parents that ends up sending the kids to foster care, and also sometimes it's also the relationship between the parents to the children.
Yes.
Yeah. So based on your experience, like what's one thing you can actually highlight that you feel like if people actually do this would actually change the lives of kids? Because I know they all have different stories of things that they've gone through. Like you say, you're talking about trauma, so that means they automatically we're talking about mental health, something that's gonna take them time before they can heal and be able to like move on with their life.
I will advise parents to love their children. I mean, parents do love their children, but I'll advise them to show that love.
Express it.
Express it. We as Africans, we knew our parents loved us.
Yeah.
They never really expressed it. In fact, my mom started hugging me when I was in my late 30s.
Tell me something.
Let me just say that.
So just having that affection, like showing it.
Having that kind of affection, it goes a long way. Your child knowing that they are loved, and you teach your child what is right and what is wrong, and also don't be afraid to let your child experience failure, because failure is how they learn. I always stress to my son is 15 years old. I keep telling him, I don't expect you to get straight A's. I expect you to do your best. Do something. If you do a test and you get 0%, you did the test.
At least you took the chance.
You took the chance and you did that, So when they know that we don't have too much expectation, they are going to thrive, Parents who are no longer like together, that negative energy affects children. What you want to do is, you can have all your beef, but don't do it in front of children.
Kids, gotcha.
And don't use your child to get back to the other parent, because even an infant, they pick on that.
Got you.
Yeah.
So it sticks with them, and
then they'll end up resenting one parent.
Over the other.
Over the other. I agree. Like we always say, like none of this is something as parents we also need to consider, because it's something I always ask myself. Like these kids didn't choose to be brought to this world. That's true, man.
So that was like an argument between the two of us. So at the end of the day, once they're here, it's our responsibility to make sure we are taking good care of them. Like it's our responsibility. They didn't sign up for this. I was listening to E.T. Eric Thomas the other day, and he made a comment that actually made sense. He was like, these kids did not sign up to come into this world. It's our responsibility. So when we have these issues, we have baby mama drama, baby daddy drama, like at the end of the day, once the kids are here, take full responsibility, because at the end of the day, what we don't realize, if you have a daughter, that daughter of yours has, like, she's already carrying a whole generation with her. Your son is also carrying a whole generation with, like, we don't even think about it that way. Like, they are not only kids, but they're actually your generation.
Yeah.
That's your whole future generation in them. And the minute you treat them a certain way, or the minute you put them in a fix or you traumatize them, then just know that it's a domino effect.
It's like throwing a kink inside.
So it's gonna affect not only them but your grandchildren and your great grandchildren. So we have to, as parents, like you said, we have to make sure we whenever we are around our kids, we're really mindful. Even when we have differences with our partners, like, let's be mindful about that. And if we have any differences or we end up separating, at least try and maintain, like, I would say, the best, like, peaceful co-parenting, like co-parenting. Yeah, try to at least do it the best way you can. Give the other person the chance to be able to come and see the kids. Like, just make it work. As long as you can put your differences aside, just to make sure that the kids experience life to the fullest, and then go on with your other stuff. And that's I think is very important. And I appreciate you just sharing that, because sometimes I feel like we ignore those small things, but then as time goes by, they grow to, like, they normally grow out to be like major things that are gonna affect, like, the kids. And I've seen it, like, when you're listening or watching all these stories about people doing crazy stuff, and all they say is, I had remorse for my parents, my upbringing was not the best, my parents left me at an early age. Like, all these stories build up and end up creating, like, I would say, like, how can I put it, like a dent on the kids' future because of what actually happened today. So as we move on from that, so now let's go. Let's move from that state. So what happened? Because now you say you're no longer working for the Social Security Service. So what transpired, or what caused you to change your career from that to the tracking industry?
I had like two major life changing events that happened. First major life changing event happened in 2018. It's March 17th. Here in America, we call it St. Patrick's Day. That's when
I just remembered that.
People go out and drink that day. It's the only day that people like get wasted. Yeah, people get wasted. That day, you know. And it's very popular in Baltimore because we have a very big Irish community. So I was going to work one day, and this guy was drunk. He was high on drugs, and he came and he hit my vehicle head on, and I got trapped in my vehicle. It started burning, and I had to get pulled out, you know.
From the wreck? From the wreck,
yes. It happened close to my home, and it was very traumatizing, you know. It was very scary, you know. But also one thing, I don't know if I ever told you this, it hit me. Because we live in America, and because of what has been going on, you know, in America, you know, anytime you see a police officer, you know, you automatically, your hands are going to be on the steering wheel. You know, you're going to be like thinking out your response and all that. That time, I'm trapped in my vehicle. Can you believe a state trooper came and asked me, dude, are you okay? He started trying to open the door, trying to get me out. And I remember vividly, very well, telling him, my hands are on the steering wheel. My license is... You know, he got shocked to hear that. Like, that is something that has been imprinted in our minds. Yeah.
So you actually in a fix, like you are trapped in a wreck, but your muscle memory remembers that when the cops come, I have to react a certain way.
Otherwise they're going to get shot. Yeah, it was around that time where we had all this killings of all these black folk.
Wow.
Around that time.
That's
so
that's
it was
crazy, man.
But I was in a hospital for about a month, and then I was into rehab for about maybe like 3 or 4 months. I did not go back to work until December. I was out from March to December. Wow. Yeah, luckily I had more than enough leave. So you know, because I was working with the state. So, and by the time I got back, my caseload was a mess because the kids do not want to listen to other workers. They don't want to do anything. It's like now I have to come back and do
restart again.
You know. And this is when I realized, like, I I am expendable in this job. I can be the best social worker.
Yeah.
But I can only do what I can.
As much, yeah, as an individual.
As an individual, and that is draining, because when you're trying to uplift somebody, and then when you're not able to do that, and then somebody else, tries to do that, it doesn't work. You gotta figure out exactly,
where the problem is.
What the problem is. Yeah.
So you want to tell me, like, so I'm trying to put this in my mind. So you came back from work after all this time, and it's not like you were just chilling. You were actually recuperating from a major crash, and then you come back and you have this whole like load of cases, and it seems like nobody was actually focusing on your cases, like on your kids. They were just waiting for you to come back and pick it up from where you started. And this is something that I know, like you said, sometimes when you're passionate about something, I feel like people take advantage of you being good at what you're working on, especially in an office setting, because I've experienced that myself. Like, I remember I used to work for this company, a retail company, and I would go on vacation and come back and find everything the same way. Not even actually worse than I left it, because no one was able to do the amount of work I used to do.
It's like they turned everything.
Yeah, they were like, Joe, come and fix it. And it's so draining, like you're saying, because when you come back, like, you've already rested for this whole time, and you come back rejuvenated, and you're like, yeah, I'm ready to put in all this energy. And then you see all that, and it drains you.
It does, man.
The first thing that knocks your mind is like, I just need to go back, like, extend my vacation.
Yeah. Just like you why am I back?
Yeah, why are you back?
You guys didn't really do anything, These kids are running away. They are all over the city. It's like I have to like go with a rope and like round them up, like cattle. There's only so much you can do, brother. Yeah. So I continued there, working. And then, of course, we all know what happened in 2020. There was a pandemic.
Yeah,
COVID happened. So we were working from home. My wife and I were both working from home. Kids were at home. And then I seen the news. It was during the election. So everything was just going crazy. And then I saw that I can't. My purpose... I need to find another purpose,
Yeah.
I need to find another purpose. So there was a shortage of drivers. They kept saying there's a shortage of drivers because people kept going to the stores and buying up all these tissue paper.
Supplies.
I mean,
we all remember that season.
For the viewers in America, you'll understand. About viewers in other countries, I don't know why people hoard tissue papers.
You'd go we used to go to the stores, and like the tissue section, the sanitizer section. At least for the sanitizer, it makes a lot of sense. But then for the paper towel and the tissue section, it was empty, and like people are not actually even stocking on food.
People are buying toilet paper.
Like, you'd go to the toiletry section and it's empty, but you go to like the fruit section where especially consider like it was a flu, like the virus itself, like instead of us focusing on the vitamins and all this nutrition, we were focused more on the toiletries. Like that's, I know it's hygienic, but that thing actually blew my mind to this day. Now that you've reminded me,
it's America, man.
That was a funny
This is America.
That was a funny scene.
It was, and then when I've seen the lines of trucks lined up out of these facilities going to collect, I was like, I think maybe this is something I can do. And I talked to one of my friends who, he's an owner-operator. Owner-operator meaning he has his own truck. He advised me on what to do. And I went and I started, I went to the trucking school and then I started driving the trucks, and I was working with a previous company before. I was over the road. Maybe like
pause, because I don't want to just slide over it. So now I just wanted to take these steps so that for viewers who might be interested in like maybe venturing into the trucking field. So you said from social work you transition to like trucking. Is it something that you were actually, I would say, interested in before? Because this is like a major 360. Like you're just shifting from a comfortable a 9 to 5 job that has all these perks, and now you're transitioning to a different field. Was it something you actually had thought about previously, or the COVID situation made you like change your mind?
I had
like
always
that?
thought about doing trucking, but COVID helped me, change my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And I initially got into this because this is a form of public service.
Mm-hmm.
Not just because it pays better or, to me, my personality is, that very well. I put other people before myself. I try to help as much as I can.
Yeah.
When I make mistakes, I talk to my people and tell them, hey, don't do A, B, C, D, so that you learn. Yeah. You're a perfect example of that. You know that very well. So, yes. So it was a complete turnaround from social work to trucking. People equate truckers as people who are not educated, people who are but the good thing about this country is that no one is really gonna care
what you're
doing as long as you're bringing in the money.
The money at the end of the day.
I can honestly say you don't need to go to my camp, but I can honestly say for all that are considering doing a career in trucking, it is 100% worth it. Especially if you are planning on doing your own thing, at the same time. There is a lot of freedom. You get, it's scary, yes, but you get to drive that big truck, get to travel all over the country and getting paid to look out the window,
enjoy the scenery.
Enjoying the scenery. It is, that's something that you and your partner may have to talk about to see,
especially if you're in a family setting.
Yeah, but this is something that you can do and survive on just one income.
That's good.
The wife can be working or the husband can be working and, just save the income. Then whatever you're making from the trucking, it is something that helped my mental health too. Because after years of stress and all these kids, I was able to be out there and just be at peace.
So it's therapeutic some way.
It's very therapeutic.
So that's actually amazing what you've just said, and I think it's inspiring to anyone who's trying to venture into the trucking industry, because the way I'm looking at it, and from the people, like you already say, like your friend is actually an owner. When you look at it, to me, that's actually ownership. Because think of it, if you start as a hired driver and then you stack up the cash, or you build up your money reserve, and you're able to actually go out there and buy your trucks, then you're building a business. So I feel like where you are right now, you're at a point where you're actually learning the craft to be able to step up to the next level, where you're going to be become an owner. You're going to be able to have your own fleet and be able to do business around the different states around us. So that's actually super inspiring. I want us to, for the viewers and the listeners who might be interested in joining the trucking industry, do you mind just breaking to us like the step by step? How do you start the process? Let's say I'm the one who's asking, like, I don't even know, I'm interested in joining the trucking industry. Where would I start? Do I have to use like my regular driver's license? Like, what's the process? Like, who do I need to go to? And then just give us like a step by step on the restrictions, or what I need to make sure I do to be able to become like a great trucking driver.
Yeah, sure. Well, the good thing about the transportation industry is that there are always options. You don't have to drive a big truck to make money. You can drive a box truck. You can drive a minivan. Those Amazon minivans.
Yeah,
you can still make money. But the bigger the risk, the bigger the reward.
The reward, gotcha.
So if you want to be a commercial truck driver, you need to have a commercial driver's license. Depending on where you live, you might be able to go to the community college and get it. You might be very lucky because you live in a state where they offer that for free. In a county, in Baltimore County, I know like the CBC. I know one of my cousins went to the CBC and got it for free because there's a need for drivers, so they're trying to push people to get the license.
Yeah.
Or you can go to like a trucking school where they train you, and then you sign a contract with them,
Okay.
you know, and then you work for them for some time. The bad thing about that is they'll pay you whatever they want to pay you, you know, but you're getting experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. So once you start getting experience, 6 months, 1 year, that is when you're going to see your life change drastically, you know, because every journey starts with a single step.
Yeah.
You need to start slow, going up. Sooner or later, man, you're gonna be able to buy your own truck. And once you buy your own truck and you have your own business, again, that is ownership.
Yeah.
And you are going to be great. It
Yeah,
is
it's true.
ownership
And greatness.
And it is
I like the segue.
you know, it is true, man. And then that is your business. That
Yeah.
is your egg nest.
Yeah.
Build it however you want to build it. It's gonna remain in your family.
Yeah.
Again, going back to the children.
Children,
Children are your legacy.
Legacy, yep. That's a fact.
You know. So regardless whether they go to college or whether they pursue their own careers, they still have something. And it is really, really good money. It is. COVID was a blessing. You know, as much, I'm sorry for all the lives that were lost, but transportation industry, COVID was a blessing because it made freight meaning goods, to be moved more frequently.
Gotcha.
More frequent moves means more money.
Because there was the need, like
There was the need.
Yeah, and the supply was.
Yeah, there was a need.
yeah.
I mean, if you have some counties that are offering free CDL classes,
That tells
you
a
know,
lot.
but people don't want to do that because they don't want to risk maybe losing their family, or because sometimes you're gonna have to be over the road.
Yeah,
for a while.
right,
Yeah. But once you get your experience, there's nothing that you can do, brother.
That's good.
Yeah.
Now I know. Like I always see people have different stories. Like I can tell every time I'm on the highway, it's crazy stuff happening. I know you have your stories. Give us like a story or an incident that you've experienced just being on the road. Like, because I feel like sometimes we be messing, like us drivers, like we try and swerve and like cut through any truck drivers and all that. And I know we see all these videos online of like accidents happening, especially during the winter season. And not only that,
Yeah.
also during like regular seasons where you have these drivers just driving carelessly on the roads, and you have a truck just coming straight up, and you know, you guys don't even like, the braking system is different compared to what experiences have you experience so far on the road, like where you can actually give us like tips on how we can actually help make your work easier or safer?
When you're hauling 80,000 pounds, you know, you don't stop like McLaren.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it takes about 2 football fields. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
For a completely loaded truck to stop.
No way.
Yes. That's if you're going like 70 miles an hour,
Yeah.
and then you step on the emergency brakes, it takes, because you can't just slam on the brakes because you're going to flip your trailer. So you have to slow down.
Got you.
And please don't cut truck drivers. Don't text. I've seen more people texting when they're driving.
Because you have
because
the height
I'm
advantage.
up high. So when you're looking like this person just texting here, you know. It has taught me to become patient. Generally, even in life, you know, because you have to be, depending on where you're driving, you know, you have to be patient. You have to anticipate what the person is going to do. I have had people try to brake check me in the rain.
No way.
Yes, because they think I'm working for a company. It's gonna
pay them. Oh yeah, they're trying to get that check.
They know that the police look at truck drivers differently.
Yeah.
If you hit somebody, you know, in the back, you know, it doesn't matter whose fault it was. The police are going to come. If somebody hits you, say it was an accident and they hit you, or you know, the police are going to come. First thing they're going to come and do, they're going to look at your logs. They're going to look at your tires. If your truck has bald tires or one light is out, or it doesn't matter who's at fault. You are not supposed to be driving that truck. You know.
Got you.
So trucking is you have to be a professional. It is a professional job. I don't care what anybody says, it's not professional. You have to be professional. And you have to learn how to be patient, because you get these people, you know, who drive crazy.
Yeah.
When it's not safe to drive,
Yeah.
just park it and just go to sleep. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Now tell us, what's one of like incidents that you've seen, like something that has happened to you, or maybe someone that you know on the road that you feel like it was crazy. Like, I know people see crazy things on the road. Give us like an incident that you always like, that was fascinating, or that made your day while you're on the road.
Oh my God. I don't know where to start. Most of the fascinating things happen at the truck stops. Truck stops are these huge gas stations, petrol stations where truckers can go sleep, you know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Somebody, depending on where you are, I have had somebody trying to open my door.
No way.
I was in Memphis, Tennessee.
While you're sleeping?
I was sleeping, yeah. I've always seen that people say when you're in that particular truck stop, you need to put your safety belt.
No, it's funny that you've said that. I saw a clip today about a lady who was explaining the way she has to strap like the door through the door, and then I was like, why is she doing this? Now that you're saying this, no, there
are some places where you just don't want to do that.
So you can't even pull like the regular lock. They can.
You put the regular lock, but you know you're dead asleep. Someone's trying to open your door. You're gonna wake up. You know that has happened. You know that has happened. Yeah, it is. You know, and sometimes maybe when you be sleeping. One time I was sleeping, and then another guy was trying to back into me, and the guy just hit me. Yeah, because he didn't get out to look, you know. So you have to be very careful, you know. And that's why I try to park very far away from people. Yeah, and also like driving during winter is pretty scary. I have been driving. You know, I have driven in the winter before when the road was ice, and you're going to call your mother. I'm telling you. I
can imagine, like, you have that heavy load. So you have to be super careful.
You have to be super careful, because the truck fishtails, you know. So if you move left, it's gonna go right. Side. So you have to bring it under control. Yeah. But that's, you know, most of those things are avoidable if you don't put yourself in that situation.
So you have to be attentive, be respectable. To the weather too, like you can just be out here like balling and driving crazy.
Don't start driving unless you know you can finish. Gotcha. Don't start something
unless you know you can
until you know you can finish. If it's snowing outside, you know, don't just.
Yeah, I remember last year at some point. I remember calling you and you were like, "I'm at the truck stop and I've been here for like 2 days, 3 days, and you can't even move."
Yeah, I can't move. Yeah, it's happened. Yeah, it snowed. Last winter, I was in Pennsylvania. It snowed a lot. For 3 days, and you know, not even the staff at the gas stations could come and they leave. So you have no bathrooms.
So you can't. They're not. So when that happens, let me ask you: do you still get paid?
You do get paid. You know, you do.
Because you're on transit.
Yeah, but if you are employing yourself, if you are an owner operator,
that's the challenge right there.
That's the risk that you're gonna take. Yeah. But that's the risk, because you know you have to get this load at a particular time to get paid. You know, so you won't really get paid. You know, but if you're an owner operator, you get paid a lot of money to move freight. You know, you can be doing like right now what I do, I get coffee from Pennsylvania to Vermont. Probably my load is a couple $100,000, you know, because coffee is in high demand. If I was an owner operator driving that same route, I'll be making a ton of money, man. Yes, you know.
Ooh, that's
and be home every other day. You know,
That's amazing. So that's an avenue where people can actually build wealth. They can actually make money as long as you're willing to take that risk. Like you say, it's risk and like versus reward. You take the risk, you get a huge reward. And I feel like also it's amazing because you get the opportunity to travel. You get the opportunity of like just moving around from state to state, which sounds amazing. I'm super blessed to get the opportunity to get all that information, because I know there are a lot of people. I've had a couple of people like have this conversation where they're like, I think I might transition into the tracking industry. And when you actually did it, I was like, now finally I know someone who does it. And I'm like, you already know, we always talk about it, trying to bring our heads together to think of ways we can be able to invest and venture into that market, because like you say, transport and logistics and operation is something that's going to be there for a long time. Even though they keep on talking about like autonomous trucks and all that. I was watching another clip the other day. They were showing how they have like autonomous trucks at the port, which they're actually using to offload the containers. That's why, because right now, you know, we have that backlog in California, in LA, right? LA. So I was watching it and I'm like, oh, if the robots are actually doing this, do you want to tell me in the next few years we're going to have trucks on the superhighway, like self-driven and taking loads from one location?
To me, I'd say they have to improve the infrastructure on the roads before you can even that.
So like you said, man, it's been amazing just having that conversation, because I hope my viewers and listeners have a different perspective on the tracking industry. And this is amazing because, like I said, I'll always try and bring like people who have stories and who are actually out here trying to live their vision and their purpose, and are also trying to step out of their comfort zone, and they're trying to make their lives better. So just having Chris here is a blessing, because he's a true testament of someone who decided, you know what, 2020, I had this reset, and now I had an opportunity to sit down and think about the different options I have in life. And he was able to transition from working as a social worker to becoming a truck driver, and he's actually enjoying it. And I believe, like he said, like there's money to be made out there, and not only that, it's a way of creating generational wealth for your family, because that's a sustainable business, because transportation and logistics is always going to be there, like supply and demand has to be there, and we have to make sure we are supplying this product to the people in different states and in different, I would say, continent. So as we wind down our conversation, I would say I appreciate you, bro. Like, I've seen your journey, and just not only now, but from when the accident happened, because I was there with you. Like, we came to the hospital, and I remember seeing you, and then being forced to use a wheelchair for all that time, and then going to all those therapies. Like, you actually pushed yourself, and you are always optimistic. So just seeing your transformation from that point, and then from then on going back to work, like, it's been a journey, and I'm super proud of you. Like, as a brother, I'm always humbled to just have you on my side. We always encouraging each other, always sharing knowledge and wisdom, whenever ideas, spending time with our families. It's been a blessing, because for those who don't know, like, Chris was my host when I first came to the States from Africa. Like, he hosted me for like 6 months, which was a blessing, because people have different experiences coming here and you don't even have a host, because his experience coming to America was different. Like, he made sure my experience was better compared to the people who normally come here and they don't even have someone to host them. They don't have someone to be able to guide them and show them the ropes. So just having you around has always been a blessing. And I just want to give you your flowers since we are seated here and tell you I appreciate that, what you've done for my family. And also just being I would say, like, an A1 dude. Like, you're always there whenever I need to talk to you in regards to business and also some family matters, and how we can be able to take good care of our families. So as we wind down, I just wanna ask you to leave us with an inspirational word, like a takeout word that can actually impact and empower our listeners and viewers and help them be able to step up to the next season of their life. Like, something that gives you hope, and not only that, gives you the motivation to be able to rise up every single morning and chase your dream, because I know, like you said, this is just the beginning of you aspiring to become better and being able to build your dynasty. So right now you're working for JB and Hunt, but who knows, maybe by the end or by the beginning of 2022 we are going to be talking about your Chris brand, Chris tracks and all that, because that's why we are doing this. So give our listeners and viewers like your final take, and then where they can find you, and we'll take it from there.
I'll always say, do not be afraid to take risks, because you don't know what you're losing if you don't do it. Love each other. Go, if you have an idea, go for it. If you have an idea, don't just sit on it, and you have testament to that, because I have seen over the years your ideas just flourish, and I'll be like, I'm so proud of this guy. This guy, he's really, really going to go far, because, he came and saw the way America is, and took the opportunity, because America is a land of opportunities. So don't be afraid, to move the extra step. Don't be afraid, and don't let anything or anyone hold you back. For you to become great in life, in the future, you have to own your life now.
That's awesome.
Yes.
That's amazing, man. Thank you so much. Now I'm gonna put you on blast right now. You were supposed to start a YouTube channel about the tracking life, because now I was going to tell our listeners, you can follow him on his YouTube. So just know this, we are going to revisit this, because, this is not the first time you're going to see Chris here. Like he's always going to be able to come in here, and we can talk more about like the tracking industry as he continues to transition. So, man, bro, you already know I'm doing this in front of so that I can hold you accountable. We need that show. We need to show people the experience of being on the road, like firsthand. So I'm holding you accountable.
Oh man, now I know. Now, on the road I have a lot of time.
Yeah, you need to give us something, man.
I need to, I'm gonna start something very soon.
Yeah.
And my videos are probably mostly gonna be educational as to what we see on the
Yeah, we need the raw and we need the raw and uncut version. We need that.
You will be getting that.
Most definitely.
You'll be getting that.
So that's amazing. I had to do that because we need this, like the same way I'm using my platform to tell our stories. I also want to make sure you're able to use your position and your platform to tell people stories about what happens on the road, what they need to do, tricks and tips on how they can become better truck drivers. So because I already know Chris doesn't even have any social media account, so I'm not gonna tell you go follow Chris.
I will be upping my Facebook.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Let me just say that.
No, it's called Meta. So
Meta. I will be I haven't had my Facebook in long. Yes.
Yeah.
Again, I'm grateful for the opportunity. I'm grateful for the kind words, and you have lit a fire under me.
Yeah, we need to do that. It is
going to start.
We need to do that because I need the next time I'm bringing you here, you need to be like subscribe
my channel, like my Facebook, follow my Instagram.
So man, it's been a blessing, like just you sharing your testimony, and I hope my listeners and viewers are gonna be able to take some gems and info and hopefully that's going to help them become better version of themselves. Like I said, on ownership and greatness, our main goal is to share these stories, like ordinary people who are actually living extraordinary lives and are also who are able to accomplish extraordinary things in life. So he is a true testament, and I know there are people out there who also have their different stories. Like if you know someone who actually has a story that you would love other people to hear, most definitely hit me up, send me a message, DM me, leave me a comment on YouTube, on all other social platforms, and I'll be able to get back to you and be able to make sure we bring that person on the seat and he or she is able to share their stories. Man, it's been a blessing. It's another session. You already know it's episode episode 11. We are moving up the ladder every single day. Just being able to sit here and share these experiences and stories. This is why I'm doing this. And I'm honored and blessed to have you here. And not only that, I'm honored and blessed to do this for the community. So everybody, thank you so much for watching and listening. This has been the Ownership and Greatness Show. I'm your host, Joe Chege, and this is
my name is Chris.
Signing out.
Yeah, signing out.
Peace.
Ownership and Greatness.